Life is tough. So, why make it even harder? Within the pursuit of elite fitness, many individuals push themselves to the acute. The holy grail of fitness can't be achieved by following basic sorts of training and dieting, but only by adapting to the very best levels of physical performance. Thus, it's essential to know the response to individual training and adjust the routine accordingly. The toughest part is probably the excruciating pain. In any case, the sacrifices are made. Once the hurdles are tackled, and therefore the walls are smashed, the sunshine at the top of the tunnel begins to decorate. Moreover, physical elitism usually depends on the program, diet, and energy. The diet must nearly always be impeccable. Most significantly, there are not any shortcuts that will substitute diligence. To an elite organization like CrossFit, whose methods are proven effective by testimonies of athletes, military, cops, et al., whose lives depend upon fitness, this definition is taken into account insufficient. Consistent with a problem of CrossFit Journal, elite fitness in 100 words is often summed up as, eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. Similarly, master the fundamentals of gymnastics, pull-ups, dips, rope climb, push-ups, sit-ups, presses to handstand, pirouettes, flips, splits, and holds. Bike, run, swim, row, etc., hard and fast. Routine is the enemy. Keep workouts short and intense. Regularly learn and play new sports. CrossFit. A whole way of living perhaps can't be so easily defined in 100 words, but the journey must begin somewhere. Discovering an ideal training routine may be a demanding process, and people who presume to understand what it takes to be physically fit are presumably confused. There's no set path someone can fancy reaching his or her individual objective, but rather a training philosophy. Consistent with Jim Jones, a successful educational program must be influenced by individual objectives, individual variances, height, weight, sport specificity, current training status, and any cyclic emphasis which will be guiding the training. Twite. The continued process of achieving the desired program requires constant searching. A workout routine is simply a tool the individual uses to realize his or her objective. The gym is where the important work gets done. Obviously, a pro fighter will have a special program to follow than a pro football player. However, no matter the sport-specific program, a private will constantly need to tweak certain aspects of the program to realize an additional step from the competition. There are not any weekends or sick days during this journey, but only a lifestyle that starts upon wakening and ends when it is time to travel to sleep. On the road ahead, don't waver. It's imperative to not confuse the will to realize a specific objective with the power it takes to satisfy it. Consequently, present-day society mistakenly views someone who is physically fit totally on his or her appearance instead of the raw strength and endurance of the athlete. As a result, this misinterpretation creates a toxic environment in many normal gyms and health clubs where users tend to travel only through the motions instead of to demonstrate exactly what dedication and sacrifice can produce. To become fit and healthy, you would like to eat good quality food. Food is the bedrock to the road ahead, and at this level of fitness, the diet must be flawless. Within us, a substantial amount of individuals haven't any idea the way to eat correctly. This is often evident during a recent study performed by the American Diabetes Association that found approximately 64% of young adults to be overweight or obese. Thanks to mismanaged diets, far too often people will deprive their body of essential carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. These three elements are the building blocks of the physical body. Carbohydrates are the body's main source of energy and are commonly referred to as simple or complex carbohydrates. The body needs enough carbohydrates throughout the day, particularly under intense physical activities, to take care of a healthy condition. If there's no source of carbohydrates, the body will begin to make carbohydrates by breaking down proteins. Protein is probably the foremost important nutrient in our body and is typically arranged in several strands called amino acids. Unlike carbohydrates or fats, it might be detrimental to scale back the intake of protein within the body. However, it's also possible to consume an excessive amount of protein, but highly unlikely. What quite a protein is the best? The key here is to combine it up. Attempt to get as many various sorts of proteins as possible. It should not be too difficult with the vast amount of nutritional stores conveniently located everywhere lately. Protein should be included because the core of any nutritional plan, making foods rich in protein like eggs, meat, and milk, literally the inspiration. Additionally, to carbohydrates and proteins, fat intake is additionally essential for correct health. There are 4 different types of fats: saturated fats, monounsaturated fats, polyunsaturated fats, and trans fats. Each sort of fat features a specific function within the body, but mostly provides energy for cells and helps form the body's hormones. First, saturated fats are often found in animal products and typically carry a negative connotation due to their tendency to boost bad cholesterol levels. Second, monounsaturated fats are found in good vegetable sources like vegetable oil and may help reduce bad cholesterol levels while maintaining good cholesterol levels. Third, polyunsaturated fats are employed by the body to make hormones. These hormones are involved in many bodily functions including muscle contraction, relaxation, vessel constriction, relaxation, and immune reaction to injury and infection, producing fever, pain, and inflammation. Last, trans fats are fats that are typically utilized in baking because they need a better freezing point. Trans fats aren't essential and, in fact, usually cause higher health risks that are related to a heart condition. Trans fats are often found in many partially hydrogenated oils that are commonly utilized in deep frying food products like French fried potatoes. Size are 138 to 157. When it involves dieting, it's all about living without. The physical body may be a temple, and on the road ahead the toughest part isn't the training, but mastery of the diet. The combination of experience and diligence are even as crucial as the other ingredient during a physically demanding routine. In other words, doing quite what's required isn't considered diligence, but a scarcity of data and knowledge. Diligence is measured by the intensity of a workout, not the number. Nevertheless, it seems as if science has almost destroyed what society considers as a tough work ethic by creating the magic pill. Consistent with recent articles within the Colorado Springs Gazette, major pharmaceutical companies are racing to be among the primary to release drugs which will supposedly enable us to eat what we would like, not exercise and still reduce within the double digits, Bryant. This pill may also be labeled laziness because it encourages the looks of fitness, instead of relative strength, power, and endurance of genuine fitness. A way harder pill to swallow is probably the physical location where diligence is administered. This location resides during space where comfort is about an illusion. The very environment proposes such challenges so harsh that each ounce of measurable energy must be spent to accomplish them. This journey demands devotion, a commitment within the sort of actual time spent, no matter how tired, how cold, or how hard. There are not any shortcuts, and on this road ahead the danger of failure becomes very realistic. In this day and age, many of us want to experience shocking results overnight. Understanding and being conversant in individual training won't produce instant gratification but will yield much faster results. A day that passes on the road ahead may be a leap of progress that exposes ignorance. The method of achieving personal objectives will take as long because it takes, while psychological aspects of physical training will usually surface under this intense period of physical performance. For instance, what if I fail? Failure confronts all folks and is actually an idea process of the mind. The truth of failure must be used as a plus against a weakness on this journey. The toughest part of reaching a state of physical elitism is sticking to the trail. The target of achieving elite fitness is just to make an absence of self-doubt, both intellectual and physical, almost as if the individual is an indestructible force of nature. So, crank up the music, there are still many miles to travel.